All right, fam. So I decided I'm picking up where I left off. I decided, hey, I'm not going to the hospital. Um, I'm just gonna. My grandmother always told us, hey, if you hit your head, you don't go right to sleep. You wait a few hours, and then if you want to go to sleep, then you go to sleep. So, me here, I took some ibuprofen. I put some. I have an ice pack. I put the ice pack on my head. Um, but then the pain really started kicking in. Um, I wasn't able to walk on my right leg. My rib was hurting even more. Um, I had this gash, this opening, road rash, fingernails were broke all the way back into the ouch meat, and I'm like, oh Lord, I want to wash the fall off of me, but everything is hurting. I couldn't do anything. So um, fast forwarding to day 3, um, January 3rd. No, January 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. I was able to call and have my car towed back to my apartment, and I get the car back here, and my first thought wasn't um, necessarily leave that car alone. That first thought again was, God blessed you with this car. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that you get it. You take care of it, because that was my promise, my deal that I made with God. If I was able to get in a position where I owned a car and be able to, do these gigs and make this money, I was gonna do right by the car that I had, and I was gonna do right by the money that I was able to make. Meaning, no frivolous or I'm sorry, no dumb decisions when it came to this money that I was able to make on my own time, right? So, in order to do that, I had to make sure I fixed the car. But the problem kept getting worse and worse with the car. Now, 3 days after the fall, I literally was crawling on my one leg. So basically pulling myself from one room to the next, right? To just take care of myself. The struggle was real. The struggle was real. It's no fun being hurt and not having someone in your immediate space to help you. It's no fun at all. For those 2 weeks, that I can tell you that I could not stand on my right leg, which meant that without that right leg, I could barely use my left leg unless I was able to, because I didn't have crutches either, unless I was able to put my hands on each side of a wall. But then where there is no wall, I had to crawl. So in all this time, I'm like, Lord, please relieve me of this pain. I can't take it. I don't know what else to do. I'm here by myself, and I'm grateful for a friend of mine. He was like, hey, I know you can't walk. I know you can't stand up. I'm gonna, he asked me, he said, hey, what do you have in your house? Because I don't eat meat or dairy or anything. He was like, what do you have in your house? I'll come over and I'll cook some food for you so that you don't have to stand up and try to cook. At the time, when I say I was in so much pain, 2 weeks probably is underestimated the time frame. But I was in so much pain, I didn't even want to eat. I literally would the what it top the broth from the miso soup, drinking that because I didn't want anything to eat. I was hurting, but my constant prayer after that became, Lord, help me fix this car. help me fix this car and remove this pain from me so I can get back to doing what I was doing to take care of myself. When I say now, I really feel like I was so misguided, but I also felt like I knew I love God. I've always loved the Lord. Always loved the Lord. I've always been a recipient of His love and His blessings, His counseling, His nurturing, His guide. I've always been a recipient of Him and His love for me. But I had this notion that I didn't have to do it a certain way to get the love from Him that I felt like I had, or I already had a relationship with Him because I was on a spiritual connection with Him. I refused to pick up the Bible because I had this notion. It's been revised so many times. How do I trust what is in this Bible? Him and I are just gonna develop this relationship, and we're gonna keep this relationship between Him and I talk to Him often, but picking up the Bible, I didn't do. I saw things, online, or people would tell me in person, their walk and scriptures and things like that. I'm like, okay, I love the fact that people share their testimonies with me, but there was a line that I was drawing when it came to the Bible. So all the while I'm trying to heal, I am still praying about this car and thinking that this car was my blessing. So I gotta fix this car. My body took so long to heal. The car was getting worse. The things that were going on, because I left out a very important part of this. So the day, January 1st, New Year's Day, I put the key in the car to turn it, and it never would come back out. So when I went on YouTube, it said that there was a way for me to get the key out. It was under the steering column. So got the key out, but then when the roadside assistance came, they had me to put the key back in there, and that's how I was able to get the key out. Long story short, so I had to go into the steering column, and there's a little button, bam, bam, bam. So I was able to get the key out. But one of my neighbors was like, "Hey, I know somebody. I have somebody else that can work on your car." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So the guy was like, "Listen, I know you say there's these codes on this car. Try this." So I tried all these different things. He finally comes out, and we put the key back in there. I'm like, "Don't worry, I can get the key out." Then it started not even turning. So I'm like, whew, okay. Now the key won't turn, and I'm having to show this mechanic how to get the key out of the steering column from what I learned on YouTube. So I'm showing him, so we do that. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna come back tomorrow, and I'm gonna bring whatever he brought to try to figure out why the car wasn't turning on. I'm gonna pick up in a second, okay?"